Well, Lisa, we're talking today about Bruno, which is Sacha Baron Cohen's latest outrage. It's really kind of a sequel to Borat.
What's up?
Sacha Baron Cohen goes all over the United States, all over the world, really, bamboozling people, toying with them, trying to tease out their stupidities and prejudices, doing a pretty good job of it, I would say.
You may find this very hard to believe, but I'm gay.
I think what is so funny about this movie, and I think where he really ups the ante on Borat, is that by taking a character as over the top as Bruno and pushing his sexuality in people's faces, sometimes quite literally, I think he's made an even more combustible movie. I found the comedy just crazier, funnier. I have to, not to disagree with Mustless Live. Well, actually, yes, to disagree with them. Sorry, Dalton. I think Bruno is an even funnier movie than Borat.
Why are you so anti-Hamas? I mean, isn't pita bread the real enemy?
You're confusing Hamas with hummus, I believe.
I don't want to sound square. There is too much sex in this movie. The problem with how he plays Bruno is that it is all about sex, and it is literally in your face.
And what's wrong with that?
Well, actually, there is something wrong with that. There is too much, and it makes it very hard to step back. He has reduced so much of his over-the-top gayness to sexual practices that may be homosexual or heterosexual. I don't want to see somebody's butt in my face throughout a movie. I don't think that's pushing my buttons for a purpose. I can't pull back enough to have a good time. There was no escaping it. When he gets into other stuff, like about fame, like about celebrity, like when he decides that he's going to be famous by adopting an African baby, which was a great commentary on the whole children as accessories thing, that is where it works.
You are the baby's father now, and you chose to dress that baby up in a T-shirt that says what?
Gaby.
That's not the baby's name, is it?
No, I gave him like a traditional African name.
So what's the baby's name?
OJ.
Every time he's miming some act and looking at us and getting Ron Paul, the Congressman Ron Paul in this, I felt bad for this poor putz.
The Ron Paul scene is very interesting in that he really kind of ambushes Ron Paul in a way that's sort of unfair, and I felt for him too, until he calls Bruno a queer. And I think that's over the line.
Yes, of course. But in the meantime, he's doing everything short of pulling down his pants and waving himself at him. So, yes, of course, if you want to get to the point where he calls him a queer, aha, he's been outed as saying queer. The tables were not even in this.
As you pointed out, it isn't just that. It's a lot of jokes about celebrity.
Right, and that
it's a lot of jokes about people's attitude toward gays.
Look at the four of us. We are so like the Sex and the City girls.
Oh, no, we aren't either.
Which one are you, Donnie?
I ain't either one of them. I'm Donnie.
That is such a Samantha thing to say.
And I think that we've had a culture where there's a lot of piety about this subject now. And I think what Sacha Baron Cohen is saying is he doesn't want to give you the gay part without the sex. I think what he's doing is actually trying to tease out the way that even liberals may be uncomfortable about this stuff. There's a great scene.
Everyone should be uncomfortable with this stuff. You know,
Why?
I mean, because it is too much.
I think Sacha Baron Cohen is the kind of comedian who wants to take everything out of the closet. And what he is making fun of in this movie is an American culture that is hooked on celebrity, on fake tolerance, on fake charity, and is still a very closeted culture. And I think he wants to explode open that closet. In some ways,
P.S.
this movie...
world culture is closeted, so don't make it only American.
I think funny is its own justification. But the other thing is that if you're laughing at something, you said you didn't want to get too serious about this movie. If you're laughing at something, it probably does mean that there is some meaning to it, that you are in some ways laughing at something that you or me or America or the world is uptight about. That's one of the purposes of comedy.
Correct.
And it can work in a very primal way about sexuality. So I don't have any problem with the sex jokes in this movie. I think there's a vision at work in Bruno of a culture that is very hypocritical, very closeted, and in some ways hides behind these images of celebrities where we want the images, but we don't want the reality.
We don't
Bruno
want their short pants.
is putting the reality in your face. That's the joke. That's why it's justified. And I think it's hilarious.
And on this, I think I would like to shake your hand and just leave it at shaking a hand. Is that okay?
We'll agree on that one.
Okay.